20,000 children dead, an 83% civilian kill ratio, worse than Bosnia, worse than Sudan, worse than Aleppo. And yet, if you dare call that out, you're branded as anti-Semite. That is the twisted game being played right now. But Cenk Uygur, he doesn't play along. Instead, he unloads on Israel policy. No filters, no sugarcoating. And what he says will leave you stunned.
That's why it's deeply ironic when they keep throwing around that anti-Semitic word, right? Which now means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, he is very correct. The word has been turned into a political weapon. Instead of stopping the real lies, it's now being used to shut down criticism of war crimes. It's not protecting the Jewish people. That is protecting genocide, and it's disgusting. Quick check. If you're sick of that smear tactic, hit the like so this message spread further than their lies.
They ruined that word. It used to mean something, now it means heroic fighter for peace. And because if you fight for peace, they're gonna call you an anti-Semite, guaranteed, guaranteed. And they're gonna say it 2 billion times over because it's a one-trick pony and they're giant liars and all they love to do is smear everyone else. They're like, oh, don't ignore our genocide. The real problem is people criticizing us. They're so evil and hateful. You know what, everybody's sick of that. We're vomiting that word. We can't stand it anymore. Now when anybody uses the word anti-Semite, they're almost definitely a racist. Because they're the ones who say, no, yeah, Israeli children are the most precious children in the world. I think Israeli children are as precious as every child on the planet Earth. I hope none of them ever get hurt, right? Now,
but calling critics anti-Semite isn't the worst part. Wait until you hear how they twist morality itself, making it sound like defending children is the crime. But Cenk Uygur Ada, check this out.
we say the same thing for about Palestinian children. They're like, no, you're an anti-Semite if you don't agree that we should have murdered 20,000 of their kids. We should murder another 20,000.
Yeah, it is. This is the insanity laid bare. They want you to believe that protecting children's lives somehow make you hateful. Meanwhile, it makes you vulnerable. It makes you human. And that's what really matters. No, the real hate is defending the mother of those children. If you excuse it, you're not moral. You're just complicit.
And if you don't say it, you hate Jews. No, brother, no. No, you hate Palestinians. You're a deeply racist, nearly psychotic person at this point. So I'm done with any Israeli supporter still defending the starvation of children. And what they've done to Jewish culture, is sickening. Holocaust survivor spoke out eloquently against it today. We're gonna share that later in the show with you guys. My favorite author in the world, Yuval Harari, is an Israeli. And he said they're destroying our culture. The culture used to be for openness and caring about the underdog and the victims, and that's absolutely true. Jewish people in this country have been wonderful to me throughout my life. They were the leaders of the civil rights movement in a lot of ways, because why? They wanted to step up for other people who were abused, etc. Now Israel has turned that culture into an oppressor culture, a racist culture, a culture who's just indifferent to other people's pain, other people's suffering. And all they do is lie. Every word out of an Israeli government official is a lie. So no, the Israeli government leaders are deeply evil. And now if you're still supporting them when the entire rest of the world says, yes, it's definitely a famine. Yes, you're definitely starving the children to death. Yes, you've definitely murdered 62,000 of them.
And then comes the hammer, the numbers, cold, undeniable, devastating numbers. Numbers that expose this war for what it is. It's scam.
It's an 83% civilian kill ratio, one of the worst in modern history, worse than Bosnia, worse than Sudan, worse than Aleppo.
That is not defense. That is mass butchery. And the hypocrisy is staggering. We condemned Assad, Sudan, and Bosnia for numbers far lower than this. But Israel, suddenly, the world looks the other way. Proof that power and money decides who gets called out, not morality. I'm tired and I'm sick of the politicians, countries always getting their way.
the butcher of Damascus, Assad butchered those people in Aleppo. That was a 59% civilian kill ratio. Hamas was a 67% kill ratio, civilian kill ratio on October 7th. Israel's at an 83% civilian kill ratio. They're butchering civilians. And from the Jewish people, that's heartbreaking for what they've gone through. Now Israel's inflicting on others. And I can't stand it anymore. And if you're a person of decency and any kind of moral conscience, you have to do everything in your power to get them to stop. It's like we're living in the middle of the Holocaust now. And the biggest debate we're having is, have we offended the Germans too much? Who cares if we offend the Germans? We should be going to war against the Germans in the middle of the Holocaust, and we did. We're worried about the Israeli feelings? Are you insane? Children are literally going to starve to death today because of the goddamn Israelis, and that is a fact. And if you say, oh no, I found the real problem here. Cenk said goddamn Israelis. That's an anti-Semite. My feelings are hurt. I do care about your feelings. And your feelings are racist. Say, oh yeah, Palestinians murder their kids. Who cares? They're not human. You're a racist. You're a sick person. Don't you ever say anti-Semite. Don't you ever talk about bigotry. Don't you ever talk about anything. If you're not fighting to end this genocide right now, you're a monster. You're a deeply evil, immoral person. And I don't care what you think. Oh no, I get to say that I'm the only one who's pure. Anyone who criticizes me, fire them, arrest them. They're doing it today, guys. The stupid Trump administration. We're gonna review 55 million visas in case anyone is criticizing Israel. They'll be removed from the country. And finally, that's the last part of it. Israel controls America. Saying anything otherwise is absurd. It's counterfactual. How could, in the middle of a famine, forced famine, all of these dead children, 98% of our government is still kissing Israel's ass, is pro-genocide. I accuse them of being deeply immoral scumbags. Oh, where's the money? Where's the money? Our politicians sicken me. And our media, oh no. Oh no. Congressional hearings on anti-Semitism. Protect the poor Israelis. The real problem is how you guys are offending the Israelis. No, the politicians, they're not crooks. They're not, ignore the AIPAC money. If you say AIPAC money, oh, that's it, you're hateful. You know, shut up. Lie on behalf of Israel. You have to lie on behalf of Israel. That's what mainstream media says. If you work at mainstream media and you still haven't called it a genocide, you're a coward. You're a sniveling, immoral, deeply evil coward. I'm sick of the people in power in this country using it to abuse people. They never help us. They never help us. We've given Israel $310 billion. And then Israel comes and says, you owe us. You owe us. Are you kidding me? We don't owe you a goddamn thing. We should cut off Israel. They're not an ally. Let's be clear about it. No one has gotten us in more trouble. No one has caused more harm. No one has caused more wars in my lifetime than Israel.
But even that is not the peak, because Cenk crosses a line nobody else in mainstream media dares to cross. He doesn't just call out the policy, he calls out Israel itself. He says,
Israel is not our ally. At this point, they are our enemy. They take money from us. They incriminate us to the whole world. They implicate us in their immoral war crimes. No one has hurt this country more than Israel has.
This is the line nobody else dares to say out loud. And it's the truth. Billions of US dollars funneled into Israel while Americans suffer at home. Our reputation is destroyed globally. Politicians bought and paid for by the AIPAC is pretending this is all about allies. No, this is about blood money and cowardice and laziness.
Israel is our top enemy. Enemy! Cut off the goddamn funding. You're taking my money to murder Palestinian children. You goddamn racist. That's how I feel about it.
Bottom line is that Cenk destroys Israel policy because he's not afraid to call it for what it is. Genocide funded by the US, protected by lies, and enforced she smells. You can disagree with his tone, but you can clutch your pearls. But the facts are devastating. What do you think? Was Cenk right to call Israel an enemy, or did he go too far? Drop your thought below and I'll be reading. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.